All right, hi guys. Let's review the alerts for today. Spoiler alert: today was an absolute disaster. Um, it started really bad. The bot system, the alert system, was not working this morning, so it was like 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30. I was not receiving any alert. So I got frustrated. I started looking at some scanners on the other apps, like the Webull app, and I see that we had some move this morning that I missed, and I'm feeling a little bit of FOMO. And from there, down the hill it went. All right, here's what I did. First, I went to the Webull app, and because I was not receiving any alert, as you can see on my screen right here, my first alert came at 9:51 on NVVE, and that alert was really bad. So before we get to the alert, let me tell you what happened exactly this morning. So I was not receiving any alert, so I got bored and I got frustrated, and this usually a recipe for horrible things. So of course, I went to the Webull app, and I start looking at the scanners, the top scanners, and see what happened. Then I feel really frustrated. Then what I did, I pull up what do you call it, EVTV, and I see that it was starting to move. I pull it up. I pull up the chat, the chart right here. It was about, let me see what time it was when I did that. Remember, this was not part of the plan. I did not receive this alert. So I went directly to the Webull app, and I was trading out of boredom, which is really bad. The setup, however, was not bad, but I was already not feeling myself this morning. So yeah, it was really bad. So as you can see right here, I took this trade on my main account at exactly 8:40. At 8:40 in the morning, I took the trade, and I bought 100 shares at 313 right here. So far, not too bad. So, I was following it to see if it's gonna hold, and I told myself, I bought it at 313. I only need like 20 cents. So if I have 333, I'm out. So after I bought it, it was hesitating right here. Then it pulls back a little bit. It pulls back further, and then it started to curve back up right here. And then I'm saying like, okay, so I made the right decision on that one. Then it's starting to squeeze a little bit over here. So as it started to squeeze a little bit over here, I'm watching it. It pulls back again. It pulls back. Keep in mind that I'm watching this as a little cup and handle formation right here. So it pulls back right here. It squeezed a little bit, pulls back, and then it went to 323. And I said, okay, that's good. On that candle right here, it went to $3.43. And guess what? I didn't sell it. I held and hoped for whatever reason. This is usually what I do, and that usually what cost me to lose a lot of money. I got emotional. I let my feelings get in the way. I traded like a complete idiot today. I had the profit, and then it start crashing down. I could have sold it for a loss right here, a very small loss. I kept holding, and it went all the way to 263. And guess what I did? I held this stock for the entire day. I sold this stock like literally a couple of minutes ago when the after hour session was about to close, and I said, okay, it's not doing it. Yeah, so I broke all the rules on that one. The only thing that was okay is I did not trade it on my Nano account challenge. So because that was not part of the, remember on the Nano account challenge, I'm only trading things that I received the alert from this app right here. If I don't receive the alert, I'm not trading it. That's part of the challenge. But on my other account right here on Webull, you know, I made terrible mistakes today, and I traded at the bottom, which is always a recipe for disaster. And like I said, I held it until I sold it all the way to 240. Literally, I held it the entire day, being frustrated. When it pops up over here, you know, trying to give me some hope, saying, "Hey, maybe I can break even." It was very choppy. Overall, today was a very bad day in the market. Overall, so there was a lot of selling right off the bat. There was some good movers, but obviously I missed them because the alert system, the alert app was not working this morning, and I wanted to trade something. As you can see right here, I held that thing all the way to 8 o'clock, and I literally sell it right here. I literally sold it at 240, and I lost how much money I lost on it? I think I lost $70. So it's gonna take me at least a whole week to recover from that loss. So that's the worst thing that happened today. On the other hand, I received my first alert at 9:51. Let me go back to that screen right here. I received the first alert at 9:51, and it was on NVVE right here. So when I pull it up for 9:51 right here, I see that this is a stock that pops up earlier this morning right here, and it crashed down. So it trying to get some redemption right here, but it was not working. And what happened, it just went lower. It didn't do anything for the entire day. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe I tried to punch it. For whatever reason, I believe I tried to punch it to buy it like somewhere right here, because it was looking like it was gonna hold right here on that candle. It would have been the reason why I couldn't take the trade is because I was trying to trade it on my Robinhood account, and what I was doing also this morning, I was trying to take some live trades on TikTok to see how it just to get some real more, not real because everything I'm doing here is real, like more like how, like instead of doing a recap, like me talking about what happened, I wanted to show you guys what's happening in real time, so that it could be a little bit more interesting, or you would like flavorful, tasty. Anyway, so when I opened the Robinhood account, I'm gonna check to see if I actually tried to buy this stock, because I believe I punched it and it was not working, because something was not working with the Robinhood, because I'm not used to trade like that and have my phones and landscape Anyway, so this one was a no. I don't know why I thought that I was gonna be able to take a trade on that one, so it was a no. The second alert that I received was on MOB, which is that one right here. That one was not too bad. So that alert came at exactly 11 o'clock. You see, I didn't even realize that it came at 11 o'clock. So at 11 o'clock, this thing started popping. It was moving so fast. I thought it was because, like he was moving fast and there's going to be some great opportunity in it. But it was not really that it was moving fast. It was the spread that was big. So when I was under the impression that it was moving fast, what I did, instead of trading it on the 1 minute time frame, I switched to the 10 seconds time frame, and that what saved me this morning. So let me see if I can pull up 10 seconds time frame right here. Because I was doing that, I was able to get a really, really nice entry on it. I believe I bought it somewhere around here, either here or here, one of these low. Let me see. Um, I bought it like around, okay, I think I bought it like right here. All right here. Anyway, so it was around that area, and I had a good read on it, and I said, okay, it's holding, so let me just buy it. So I bought it right here for 830. I believe it was 838. So probably like here instead. Anyway, so I bought it at 838, and normally, like 30 cents gain. So I was supposed to sell, and guess what I did again? I didn't sell. It curves back up all the way to 896. I didn't sell. Then it started to go down a little bit. Let me go back to the 1 minute time frame so that we can go a little bit faster on the recap right here. So the stock went all the way to $9.12, and I held it and I didn't hold. And I held it and I didn't sell for whatever reason. I said, you know what? I wanted to sell like at 920 or something, 924. Emotion speaking. And guess what? It pulls back, held a little bit, deep a little bit further. I was in the red for a little bit right here, but it went back up. And guess what? This time it went all the way to 934, and I still didn't sell the stock. Yeah, I violated all my rules today. There was a couple of problems with that stock, however. The liquidity was not good. There was not enough volume on it. So I was waiting for the capitulation on the seller side so that, it could start squeezing for good, like 930, 950 and stuff like that. But it never did it. And I held it thinking that at some point it's going to happen. And, I could have sold it for a profit of $5, $7. There were many opportunities for me to sell it at a $5 profit, a $7 profit, but for some reason I was hard-headed because when the market is telling you what's going on, you should listen. And I held it, and guess what? I end up selling it at some point when I feel like okay, it's not gonna work. I believe I sold it like around over here after 3. And I feel like, it was not going to work. There's no volume. There's nothing. And I just covered it for a loss. I'm not going to say how much I lost on it. But when I open the Robinhood account, we're going to look at that together. So that was MOB. The next stock that showed up on the scanner was HCHL at 1134. HCHL right here, 1134 was around this way. And as you can see, this is the stock that completely destroyed the account today. And I think when I bought it, it was already halted down. So, there was no need for me to even look at it. So I just left it alone. And the next one was EVTV. EVTV came on the scanner, and remember, EVTV is the stock that I decided to buy at 8 something, and I held it through the entire day. But it came to the scanner, it came to the alert system at 12:35. So when I saw that, I said, okay, so maybe it's gonna do something. Let's see what it did at 12:35. Where is it? Okay, it was right here. And obviously it didn't work out. I'm just gonna show you just for concept. 12:35. It did show some strength right here. It pushed all the way to 282. In my head, I said, okay, so maybe this is gonna recover, or at least I can cover for. I can close the position for. I can sell for a more realistic loss, like around $3 or something. It gave me some hope right here, but it didn't work out. It tried again and it failed. So like I said, I held it through the entire day and I just sold it like almost like 7:59, like 8 o'clock. I sold it, which is ridiculous. So that's basically how my that's basically how my day went today. It was a very bad day. It was a terrible day. And another thing that I did this morning, I switched my Robinhood account for the Nano account challenge from a cash account to a margin account, because if I do that, then I can take the 3 trade for the margin account today, and then tomorrow when it settles, then I can change it back to a cash account, and then I can continue the trade. So instead of having, like, for example, like 5 trades in 5 days, I could have four trades in 4 days, and in one of these days that I decided to have it on a margin account, I can have 3 trades on that day. So that's 3 plus 4. That would like technically give me like 7 trades in for the week, which is not a bad idea. And I completely forgot about that. If I had remembered that, I would have sold MOB, $5, $7 profit, and then I can always re-enter, or I can trade something else. But for some reason, I was so frustrated already this morning, I completely forgot about that until it was almost 4 o'clock. So anyway, let's take a look at the tiny Nano account challenge and see what happened. I already told you what happened, but we can take a look at it together. So let's open the Robinhood account right here. All right. So today I am down. I am down $1.76, that's the only thing that that makes me feel like I'm not a complete idiot today, because in my head I say, you know what, because I bought it so early, even if I made the wrong decision by holding it, at least I'm not gonna hold it until I have a loss of $10. I said, if it shows me that it wants to go to a $5 loss, I'm gonna take it, because my average loss right now is already $7. So $5 loss, I can deal with that. But then I don't know if it was the best decision, because part of me was feeling like, you know what, I didn't want to have a winner of $10-12, because I wanted to have a big winner today. The market doesn't care about that. So I could have had a winner of 5, 7, 10, 15. At some point, my unrealized profit was $16, and I didn't close the trade because I was hoping I would get more. I'm trying to boost my average win, which could be something that I need to be careful with, because I should not be so much fixated on those metrics. Of course, they're gonna be my guardrails, to help me make some decision, but I cannot be irrational about it. For example, today I could have sold it at $10. It would have been a good day, a $10 profit day. I didn't do that because I wanted to increase my average win, because right now my average win is all $17 something. So we're gonna do a simulation and see what is the best decision that I could have done. Anyway, so let's go back here and take a look at the trades. Right here. So I bought it right here, 9 shares. No, that's the second buy. So the first buy, hold on. Not that one. So the first buy, I bought 10 shares right here. I bought those 10 shares at $8.25. See, perfect entry. And I added another 9 shares at some, when I was showing profit, and that brought my average to $8 and I believe $8.38 when I added the other one. And I bought it at exactly 11:02. Right after I received the alert, I took a look at it. I saw that it was the right profile and everything, and I said, okay, let me just punch it. Uh, the right profile for us would be, let me bring back the app right here. So the reason why it was a good decision to trade it, to trade MOB, the float was not bad. It was 7.5 million share float. The liquidity 380, it was not ideal, but it was not the lowest that I've seen working. And the volume was not bad. It was actually a 90k 90,000 volume, 90,000 shares on that candle, ignition candle. So with those numbers, I decided to take the trade, and that was the right decision, except that the liquidity was not there, and obviously I was stubborn and I didn't sell it when I had my profit. So which puts me to a loss. Oh, I forgot to show you guys what time did I sell the whole thing. I sold it the whole thing at what time? I sold it at 3:12. Yeah, you can take a look right here and see if it works. Let's see if that one works. For some reason, viewing the chat on Robinhood when I have it like that is not really 3:12. I believe I sold it at 3:12. So I realized like after 3, like it was definitely not gonna do anything. Like right here, when it started crashing all the way down, and I say, you know what, I'm just gonna sell it and call it a day. So I sold it like around right here. So right here I sold it and called it. So $1.76 loss for that. It's a bummer, but trust me, it could have been worse. That's the only thing that makes me want to pat myself on the back today, because I didn't take a huge loss. Because even the other professional, I have some guys that I always watch their videos because on my journey I was watching a lot of people. It was not an easy day for them either, and these guys are really good, so let me see. As you can see right here, I got a tiny little red rectangle right here for a little loss of $1.76 today. All right, so let's update the scoreboard for the Nano account challenge, my Excel sheet right here. Did I punch it? Let's punch it again. All right, so right here. So the start that I played was MOB. So let's type it. Sorry about the noise, guys. MOB. And I made I lost $1.76, so minus 1.76. All right, there you go. Oh, that's not a minus. That's minus $1 point, can type 0.76 cents. Boom. Okay, now we have $1.76. all right, now so this is my 6th trade for the Nano account challenge. Before, if I remove that, if I hold on, bear with me, guys. So before that, if you look at my metrics before that, you could see that, like I was explaining, my average win was $17.91. dollar amount. And in terms of percentage, I was able to do some updates on it. My average win percentage is like 15.47%, which is really good. My average loss is $7.55. $7.55, and of course it's 7.55%. My win rate was 80%, and my risk reward ratio was 2.37. Before yesterday, my equity balance was $164.08, which means that the account is up 64%. And if you look at the P&L right here, you could see that I was showing green with $64.08. The last one right here is a projection for 100 trades. It's just a calculation that is linear. I know it's not really going to be working like that because obviously the trades, they're going to compound, but the compounding calculation would be too complicated. And, just for simplicity and to give me an idea of what could be my account balance or profit after 100 trade. So I was looking at $1,281.60 after 100 trade. So these were my metrics. So after today, let me see if I can put it back. After today, why it's not doing it? It's not doing it. So I have to type it in again. I thought I could just undo what I just did, which is why, I decided to go through it. There it is. Okay. After today, so my average win remains the same because, it's something separate. My average loss, instead of $7 now, it's $4.60, which is still not bad. In terms of percentage, I went up to $4.31% my average loss, which is not bad. However, my win rate went from 80 to 67%. So my win rate crashed. And my profit to loss ratio went up because my average loss went down. And so my average loss went down. Oh, that's an interesting concept. So my win rate went down, but my average loss also went down. So all right, let me rephrase that because I'm getting too excited about it. So my win rate was down. It was 80%. Now it's showing 67%, which is good, but it was from 80 to 67%. It's a huge difference. However, because I was able to keep the losers so small today, that brings my average from 7 to 4, and that boosts up my win rate, my risk reward ratio. Now instead of a 2 point something, I'm showing a 3.85%. But even with a good risk reward ratio, look at my projection for 100 trade now. My projection was $1,281, but with that, now I'm looking at only $1,038. So accuracy is very important. So instead of taking that small loss today, I should have taken a small win. That's a very, very interesting concept. Because it's even though my average loss is it's better, but my win rate crashed, and now it's gonna take me a lot of trade to bring it back to 80 if I'm ever able to do that. All right, so that's where I'm sitting right now. Tomorrow I'm gonna see if I can trade better. I'm gonna see if I can have better setup. Hopefully the bot system will work better tomorrow, and I can have some real alerts, because the one that I received today were like, they felt like random. It was like the things already happened, the moves already happened, and then I'm just receiving them because obviously the bot system wasn't working. So that's it for me, guys. In a nutshell, my recap for today. It was a really terrible day, but at the end of the day, for the Nano account challenge, we are still in good standing. So it was not a total disaster. So I only take a small loss. All right. Thanks for watching, and then I'll see you on the next one.